found yourself here, welcome. It probably means you're pregnant, which is super exciting, and probably brings a whole host of other emotions. So I'm glad that you found yourself here and were able to give yourself a little bit of care and attention during this big transition in your life. So super cool. Props we'll need today will be something to sit on. So that's like a blanket, a cushion, a bolster, a block, whatever really you have around the house. Bolsters in particular are a really lovely thing to have for prenatal yoga because they assist laying down a little bit easier, which can sometimes be uncomfortable when you're a little further along. They can also be quite lovely, for sideline pose, to like a little bit of support to the knees and low back. Just awesome yoga prop to have in general, also really useful for like yin and restorative yoga. So something to consider. Bolsters are great, but like a couch cushion can totally suffice. So if you have that, go grab a cushion off your couch. Blocks are also going to be super supportive in this practice, just to kind of bring the floor to us a little bit and help us kind of get up and down, especially again when you're further along. So regardless of where you are in your pregnancy journey, like this class, I hope will be of value to you. It's never too early to start taking prenatal, and it's never too late. Well, unless you have the baby, but then you can always continue taking, because I firmly believe, like I don't have kids myself, but for me it's like a lovely way to just teach myself, when that day, if that day comes, I sort of have like the toolkit to know. So like, even if you aren't pregnant and you're just like considering it, this could be a cool class to, open your eyes, start to get in touch with like the womb space, which, if you identify as female, like, we all have this space. It's not just for creating babies, it's like for manifesting creativity, flow state and vibrancy in our lives. It's the feminine energy. So, this class can also be useful to connect there. I'm gonna stop talking because we're gonna get started. I'm just excited. We're gonna start in a seat, right? So grab for something to sit up on, give yourself a little bit of support. I'm gonna sit on the bolster here. I'm gonna sit here for quite a bit. So make sure it's comfy, if you need to grab for multiple blankets or a couple pillows, like that's totally cool. Just come to a seat. And place your hands on your low belly, on your womb. Close your eyes and tap in. Just noticing how you're doing. Like starting physically, right? How's your body feeling? Maybe you're feeling super energetic, right? Maybe you're feeling a little nauseous, right? Whatever it is, like, just observe. Right? Depending on where you are, you might feel some tightness in the hips, or maybe even pain in the low back. How's your jaw? Can you soften? And as we sit here and breathe, start to connect to your mind space. And this is, part of pregnancy in our culture. It's like there's this hyper focus on the externals, right? Like making sure your body is like physically okay and your baby's safe and healthy and growing at an optimal rate, and like, you know, we're tracking things and all this stuff, and it can become you know, kind of a source of anxiety. I don't know if you resonate with that at all. But see if today, for, you know, the duration of us being on the mat, if you can tap into that inner space, right? That inner knowing, that trusting. Yeah, and this part of you has never been more alive than right now. And so certainly, like, welcome everything, right, that's coming up for you today or every day. Like, in the inner landscape, there might be like butterflies, excitement, there might be worry and fear and concern. And this is a huge, huge transition in your life. It makes sense, right, that it comes along with all of this extra stuff. And whether you're pregnant or not, like, this fear mind, like, the best way to quiet, right, the anxiety or you know, maybe like the what ifs, is to tap into the breath. It's to tap into the body. So right now, as you're holding your belly, you're holding your baby, can you connect with that deeper knowing inside of you? And if it makes sense, if it feels right, maybe you connect with your baby. Just check in, say hi. Good, we've got a couple more breaths here. If your arms get sore from holding the belly like this, please feel free to just place the hands on the thighs. A couple more big deep breaths here, just natural, right? Not forced or controlled, just gentle breathing, starting to inhabit the body. Good, one more breath here. Softening the shoulders away from the ears, softening the jaw. When you're ready, slowly start to blink the eyes open. Just gonna get into like a little bit of neck and shoulder warm up. So you can start rolling your shoulders here. Like, sometimes I feel like I have more freedom if I can bring my hands off my thighs. Just start to get into the shoulders. Oh yeah. Greasing up the joints, as I'd like to say. Yeah, and then go the other way. Breathing as slow or as fast as you want to. Okay, as you inhale, reach the arms up, get nice and long, interlace your hands, and flip the palms so they face towards the ceiling. Just find lots of length in the side body here, yeah? Feel like you can even breathe deeper when we open up the side body like this. Good. Can you hug baby up and in just a smidge here so we're not like splaying the ribs? One more breath. And then release your hands. You'll release the right hand to the right. Just nice, easy side stretch over to the right. Good. If your left hip comes up, that's totally fine. Just breathe through the left side. We'll go to the other side, so drop your left hand to the left side, stretch into the right waist, the right lungs, the right ribs, just opening that space here. Yeah. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Place your hands on your thighs. Again, we'll just do nice, easy neck rolls. So again, going at your own pace. Slow, what the neck is super fragile. It's moving slowly here. And see if you can move your shoulders away from your ears just a little. Okay, then the other way. Couple more rounds. And softening here. Good. Finish up. We're going to come into table pose. So set your props aside. If you want a little padding for the knees, you can maybe grab that, a blanket or something. Place it down. And then come to hands and knees here. Remove any floor debris. That's what I just did. All right, so from here, let's just get into the hips. Move the hips from side to side and around. Again, just like intuitive movement here. Just doesn't have to look like anything in particular. Just start to get into the outer hips. And you get into the side body. You can do like little figure eights if that feels nice. And then switch directions if you went the other way. I like to bring my hips like all the way back by my heels. That could feel really good. All right. Then come back to center. We're going to reach the right leg back. And you can choose here to keep the right leg grounded, toes curled under, or lift it, right? Up to you. If you lifted it and your belly totally dropped and you like kind of started dumping into your low back, either pull baby up and in, right? Or keep the right foot on the ground, okay? Then from here, maybe you extend the left arm long. Just breathe in. Feeling that length, you've got a neutral head here, so it's kind of in line with the spine. Yeah, see if you can bring a little bit of engagement into your belly so you're not, again, overextending into low back. One more breath here. Good. If your right leg's up, place it down, and then place the left hand down, coming into supported side plank. So spin to the right heel, so the entire right foot is down. Open, lift the right arm high. You can kickstand the left foot to give yourself a little bit more stability here. That's totally fine. I'm going to take this off so you can actually see me. Yeah, so you can kickstand the left foot to just kind of like widen the base. Lift the right arm high, inhale. We're just going to do nice, easy shoulder rolls here. So bring that right arm up by your ear, down in front of you, and back. Good, up by the ear, down, and back. And you can decide to like get a little dramatic here if you want to like open the chest a little bit. Remember to keep softening the ribs here, broaden. Yeah. Good, make sure you change directions. Some breathing. Is the left shoulder kind of popping up by your ear? Can you soften? Good, one more. Nice. Place the right hand down, place the right knee down, come back to table pose. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. So extending the left leg back, your choice. Keep the toes curled under or lift the left leg. Remember to hug baby up and in here. And see if you're kind of dumping into that right hip. Can you squeeze the right hip in as you maybe lift the right arm high? And these are steps, right? So you can decide to stay with the left foot on the ground. That's totally fine. Couple breaths here. Nice. One more. And place the right hand down, coming into supported side plank. So spin to the left foot, kickstand the right foot behind you for support, reach the left arm high. Yeah, already this might feel real good, just like opening up the chest, especially if you have other babies at home and you're always picking them up, like opening the chest can just feel so good. So let's do these arm circles again. Reach the left arm up and down and back. Yeah, getting into it. Greasing up the joints. Again, if you want to bring some drama into it, maybe bring the arm back and open the chest. Yeah, switch directions if you haven't already. Keep that right shoulder out of the ear if you can, just to give the neck some space. Oh, and more. Okay, place the left hand down. Place the left knee down. Okay, so from here, guys, I'm shedding like crazy. I'm sorry if this is a distraction. It's like hair is everywhere. All right, from here, let's extend the left foot over to the left. If you're wearing socks like me, this might be a good time to take them off. All right, extend the left foot over to the left. We're gonna take just nice big hip circles here. Just moving in one direction. You can bend the left knee, that's gonna feel really good. Again, just moving at your own pace. Good, come back to center. From here, we'll reach the right arm high, inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Right shoulder comes underneath the left. You can place the right side of your head down on the mat. You can tent the left fingertips here. If this is too much for you with the leg extended, you just bring it back and you're in like a normal thread the needle. Okay, so that's totally up to you. You decide if you want that added hamstring stretch. But wherever you are, come up, tent your left fingertips here and use that as leverage to spin the chest open more to the left. Nice, one more breath. Good. Place the left hand down, push into the hand. Let's twist the right arm high, open the chest, and then place the hand down. Okay, come back to center. Extend the right foot over to the right this time. If you're a little short on space, you might have to negotiate, kind of like me. And then let's just get into the hips here. So you can bend the right knee, just move it around. One direction and the other. Just getting into the hips. It's that fluid motion here. Okay, one more breath. From here, right hand's your foundation. Lift the left arm high, inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, left shoulder comes underneath the right. Maybe left side of the head comes down. Tent yourself up on the right fingertips here, again to leverage the chest open. And again, if you don't like the leg extended, just bring the right knee to meet the left. Breathe in space into the side body. Good, one more. All right, from here, push into the right hand, reach the left arm high, inhale. Exhale, place it down. Place the right knee to meet the left. All right, so from here, let's take a down dog, dolphin pose, child's pose. I've got tons of options here, but some sort of light inversion, if you will. So if you're coming into down dog, of course, you can come from the tabletop, walk your hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes, lift your hips, find down dog, yeah. And what I hear from a lot of women is that they feel like a lot of pressure on their pelvic floor and their low back. What down dog can help do in dolphin and these like very gentle inversions is take a little bit of pressure off of the pelvic space, so it could feel really, really delicious. So down dog, if you're doing it, go for it. Dolphin, if you've got blocks, you want to try dolphin. This could be a really nice way to just bring a little bit of space into the shoulders. So place your forearms on the blocks. Then from here, curl your knees under, lift your hips. Dolphin pose, right? So just like gives you a little bit more space in the shoulders. You can always take down dolphin regularly, that's totally fine. Another option is puppy dog pose, which is essentially tabletop on your forearms. This is a really lovely prenatal posture. So you just drop down onto your forearms and relax the head, relax the chest, maybe sway your hips side to side. And then finally child's, which is hips to heels. You're gonna want those knees wide to make space for the babe. And if you're super far along, maybe you even want a support for your head here. Okay, so maybe just bring your head up a little bit and bring space for baby. Okay, so lots of options. We're just breathing here in child's pose, down dog, dolphin, polar bear, so many options. And rather than feeling overwhelmed by the options, can you just trust the one you chose? Knowing that you chose it for a reason. Couple more breaths here, wherever you are. Nice. One more breath. If you aren't already down on your knees, drop down onto your knees. We'll meet in table pose. And then grab for a block from table. Have it nearby. From here, place both hands on the block. Okay, this is how we're going to come up. So you're going to place one foot to the floor, place the other foot to the floor, keep the booty real far back, so we're kind of going to squat. And you can just sway here. You can decide if you want the hands on the blocks or maybe the forearms to the knees. Just move the hips side to side. And then the feet are real wide, okay? Making lots of space. Yeah, from here, can you push, let the booty move back, reach the crown of the head and the chest forward, find lots of length in the spine. Can you, again, find that engagement in the belly, just enough so that you feel like you're protecting the back, you're not over bending. Breathing. Okay, so we're gonna be here for a couple of breaths. If you need to bring your hands on the block, that's totally chill. Just wherever you are. It's kind of like a linebacker pose. Yeah, forearms on the knees. But from here, can you find some softness, right? Some gentle qualities, even though this is a very yang posture that's asking our legs to do a lot for us. To see if you can breathe. My prenatal teacher who I learned from, she always says that when you want to get out of it is when the true potency of the pose arrives. I don't know what that was. Hopefully wasn't okay. So see if you can stick with it, yeah? This sort of activity, by the way, gets us ready for labor. That's sort of like being somewhere where you don't feel like you can do it anymore. You can, okay? Couple more breaths. the blocks if they aren't already. Straighten the legs. Whew. Yeah, moving the hips side to side. You feel like a minty freshness in the legs now. Good. Just moving the hips here. All right. Bend the knees again just to come up. Okay, so booty back. You can bring your hands to the knees to assist yourself all the way up. Awesome. All right. So I guess we won't need the blocks in this pose in particular. But step the feet nice and wide here. So you may need to take a couple steps to get the feet wide. Coming into warrior two. So from the hip socket, can you turn the left leg out and bend nice and deep into the left knee? Yeah. Now, typical warrior two pose would be heel to arch alignment, right, with like normal non-pregnant hips. But when we're mamas, we might want to bring the right foot a little bit over to the right just to find a little bit more space in the pelvis, which is totally fine. Yeah, and you might not want to go as deep. Like that's totally fine. You might want to bend into it real deep, and that's great. Go for it. Just feel into it. Sense where your body is today. And then reach the arms wide. Good. Gaze over your left fingertip. Keep bending nice and deep into the left knee. And we're going to flow a little bit here. So as you inhale, straightening the left leg, reach the arms up. As you exhale, like you were pushing something away, push the arms in opposition. Good. Inhale, pull all of that beautiful energy in. Exhale, push all of the unwanted energy away. Yeah. Inhale, pull in your intuition, your knowing. Exhale, push out unsolicited advice. Yeah, it's like, I would imagine, I've heard you get a lot of that when you're pregnant. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, push out. Say no thank you. Good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, push it out. Good. Stay here. We're going to come into extended side angle. So you can bring the left elbow to the left knee, reach the right arm up by your ear. Yeah. And feel, just like we're doing in those squats, feel the booty moving back, yeah, while keeping that engagement in the belly here. Good. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Maybe you want to spin the chest open towards the ceiling, but only if that feels okay on your pelvis here. Yeah. One more breath. Okay, as we inhale, we'll come on up. You might need to push into the knee to lift yourself. Okay, flip the front palm, pull it up and back. Nice, easy side stretch here. Awesome. Inhale, come on up. Straighten the leg, turn the toes in. And then let's turn from the hip socket, the right leg externally rotates. Okay, bend nice and deep into the right knee. Again, your feet might not be totally where you want them to be. So maybe you move the right knee a little bit further to the right just to give that pelvis and that baby some space here, okay? And by the way, in any pose we're doing, feel free to hold baby. Like, that's totally fine. You can just decide to extend the arms, do what feels right, okay? Breathe here, keep lunging deep into the right knee. Lift up through the crown of the head. Can you anchor the hips here? Nice, I'm going to do those movements again. So straighten the right leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, push out the energy that isn't serving you, yeah. Inhale, trusting the knowing. Exhale, the worry. Good. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, no thank you. Inhale, I know what I need. Exhale, No, thank you. I'm good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, what isn't serving you. Nice, last one, inhale. Exhale, bend into the right knee. We're coming into side angle. So right elbow, right knee. Reach the left arm up, overhead. Yeah. Booty moves back here. Good, just making a little bit more space. By the way, you can drop the right hand down to a block here if you'd like. That's totally fine. I'm gonna do elbow because that feels good to me. Good, just reach the crown of the head forward. I just spit. Lengthen the spine here, and if it feels okay, maybe you spin the chest open towards the ceiling. Again, leading with the chest, right? Not the low back, yeah. Can you keep the right shoulder out of the ear for one more breath? Awesome, you're doing great. Okay, inhale, coming up, so maybe push the right hand into the knee, straighten the right leg, turn the toes in. So we're in wide-legged now, okay. From here, you might want your block. So if you're gonna get your block, booty back, knees nice and bent. I'm gonna grab for my block or two, right? And place it under my hands, okay. And we're moving around like that, like knees bent and booty back. It's really just helping us to not like tweak the spine or the pelvis in any weird way and just move really mindfully and safely. And that's not because like what we're doing here is gonna hurt baby in any way. It's to protect your body, right? So that when you're healing after you give birth, you feel good and you feel like you can, sort of mend the body back. I don't mean getting back to your normal weight. That's irrelevant, right? Good, just breathe in here. Maybe you bend through one knee, then the other. Yeah. And bring your hands to the block, just lengthen the spine here. And maybe you stay here, right? Maybe you bring the left hand to the block and the right hand to your sacrum, the kind of triangular bone at your low back. Lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, maybe twist to the right. As you twist, let your left hip come with you, okay? So we're not like tweaking the pelvis or the spine here. And the belly moves with the twist. Just open the chest here. One more breath. Nice. Come back to center. I'm going to place the right hand on the block this time. Left hand will come to low back. Lengthen the spine out of the hips. Exhale, twisting to the left. Let your right hip come with you. Ooh, yeah. And so with this left shoulder, can you broaden the collarbones here while keeping the belly slightly engaged to protect the low back? One more breath. All right, come back to center. Place both hands on the block. Bend your knees, booty back. Bring your hands to your knees. And come on to goddess pose. Okay, so you're gonna turn one heel in, the other heel in, toes out. Knees nice and wide here. Okay. Just moving from side to side, getting into the inner thighs, the inner groin. Maybe you even might feel this in your outer hip, your outer glutes. Drop the hips, lift through the crown of the head. Good. Maybe you stay here. Maybe bring your arms, goddess arms. It's a little bit more challenging. Again, when you want to get out of it is when the potency of the pose really arrives. I just love that. I love that. I feel like that's true always, like not even in a prenatal class, like, when you're doing normal vinyasa or even meditation, right? Like, how often, if you do meditate, it's like you sit down and you're like, hey, I'm done with this. within like 2 minutes. It feels like that's pretty frequent for this gal. And it's the staying, right? The trusting that like it's gonna be okay, that really transforms us, right? In a really like incredible, powerful way. One more breath. All right. Woo! Bring your hands to your knees, straighten out your legs. Right, I should say like parallel your feet. From here, booty back, okay? Bend your knees, I know I just said straighten. Bend your knees, booty back, and come all the way up to standing. Okay. You'll just walk your feet in, couple steps, take in tree pose. So we'll start on the right side. So ground into the left foot. I'm gonna bring the right foot. Well, first externally rotate the right thigh, and you can just be on your toes here, right? Like kickstand your heel against your leg. Maybe you bring the foot to your calf. Maybe pull the foot all the way up. Yeah, but if that requires you to like bear down and put that foot there, screw it. Just put the foot on your calf, or maybe to the floor, right? It's totally up to you. Okay, palms to heart center. Close your eyes if it feels okay. Yeah, you might feel like a little unbalanced here. So if that's the case for you, keep the eyes open, especially if you're on carpet. It's like a little harder to balance there. Good. See if you can focus on something that's not moving. A couple big deep breaths. Maybe you hold on to baby here. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna do that. Just finding that stillness and softening something. Your jaw, your shoulders. Good. Release that. Shake out through the left foot, and we'll do the other side. Okay, so right foot will be your foundation this time. Externally rotate the left thigh, either kickstand, calf. Maybe a few of us will bring foot to inner thigh, just avoid the knee here, okay? And palms at heart center, maybe hold on to baby and just breathe, right? Tune in. Like everything you need is right here, is within you. And so, like, no amount of Googling while it feels like it's bringing peace of mind and stillness. What it's really doing is bringing us outside of ourselves, right? Because there becomes this time when no more knowing is going to change, or I should say, no more like research is going to, help us, right? It comes from that place, this is with anything, where like, it's helpful up to a certain degree and then it becomes unhelpful. It's like the epitome of most worrying, I would say. Good. Release that. Shake out through the right foot. And then we're just gonna get into the hips here. So bring the feet nice and wide. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. Maybe keep them on baby. Just moving, rolling the hips side to side. Ooh la la. Yeah. Right. Maybe you take those figure eights again. Feels so good. This is a really good laboring tactic, right? Just like bringing some freedom and looseness to the hips, right? It's also really good for like ungripping the pelvic floor. Some soft, flowy movements. Good. One more breath. Now we'll just do a little like qigong twisting, okay? So you'll twist from side to side. So as you twist to one side, the opposite heel might come off the ground, okay? Maybe move your chest, just twist. Again, see if you can soften the body here. Good. One more breath here. All right. Come back to center. From here, reach the arms. Actually, bring the feet nice and wide. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Palms to heart center. Squat. Booty back. Maybe elbows touch the knees. Totally fine if they don't. Inhale, reach the arms up. Couple wave squats here, okay? Palms come together, heart center, booty back. You can stay here, elbows to knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, booty back. Elbows to knees. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, squat, booty back. Good, inhale. Exhale, squat it out. Yes, inhale. Exhale, squat. Okay, from here, we're gonna squat a little bit deeper. Bring the booty really far back. We're coming into Malasana, yogi squat. So if you'd like to bring your hands to the floor, or maybe you had a block nearby, grab for the block. This pose in particular, the heels are slightly in, the toes are slightly out. I love to use the elbows against my knees to like widen. It might feel really good to bring a block under the sit bones here just for a little bit of support. Yeah. Palms at heart center, broaden the chest. Yeah. Malasana also, like of course squatting that we were doing before is like active, right? Malasana is a lovely passive squat that again, you might find it just sort of helps to soften if you're experiencing low back pain or sort of like pressure on the pelvis. It might feel really nice. A couple deep breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. Again, tapping in to that knowing, that truth that we all have, but especially women, you know, because we have this like super incredible ability to create life. Are you kidding me? That is amazing. Yeah. Maybe send yourself some gratitude, some like bad bitch vibes. Because you are. It's amazing. One more breath here. From here, start to, if you're sitting on something, that's great. If you're not, if you've got your block in front of you, use your block to assist yourself down to a seat. Okay, if you're sitting on something, you'll just extend your legs nice and long. Come into wide-legged forward fold. I will say, it could feel really nice to bring your blanket underneath your sit bones here, right? So just sitting on the edge of something. Feel good. Feet out wide, flex your feet here, and bring your fingertips behind you. Just lift the crown of the head, broaden the chest. And this might be where you stay, focusing on grounding the thighs. Okay, otherwise maybe bring a block in front of you, bring your forearms to the block and fold. Good. It can feel so lovely to open the inner thighs here. Maybe move the torso side to side. Maybe you point and flex and give a little couple ankle twirls. Nice. All right, from here, sides, the block, push yourself up. Double pigeon pose. So you can take Sukhasana, which is easy cross-legged pose where your shins are stacked right in front of the other, the ankles are in line with the knees. And this is an awesome hip opener. If you're not already sitting on something, I recommend you do. So you can take Sukhasana like this, or if double pigeon is in your practice, maybe you place one shin on top of the other, keeping the feet flexed. If you've got a bolster or a block and you want to place it in front of you, you can place the shin on the bolster. Okay, so it's kind of like the bolster is like right in front of me, and I'm flexing that foot. This can be kind of a fun option because it gets a little bit deeper into the hip to like elevate the shin when you're stretching the hip. So take whatever variation you'd like. Wherever you are, fingertips behind you, just like we did in the fold. Broaden the chest, inhale. Exhale, come on down, any amount. Maybe your forearms come to your shin. Maybe you bring a block in front of you, a couple blocks, place your forehead to a block. Yeah, just wherever you are, keep your both feet flexed, I should say. Couple deep breaths. One more breath. Okay, from here. Inhaling, lift yourself up. Just going to do the other side. So if you're using a bolster like I am, you'll just switch out which shin was on top. Switch out the shin that was on top or in front in Sukhasana or double pigeon. And then fingertips beside you, lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, coming down, any amount, maybe forearms to shin here. Breathing. Can you soften your lips? Can you soften your eyes? And knowing that when we tap into the body, when we tap into the breath, it's when we come back to our inner knowing, our inner power. We sort of take back the fear and the worry and the anxiety, and instead we're reminded that we can trust. Come on up. All right, it is Shavasana time. So couple options for prenatal Shavasana, which are super fun. You can, probably the simplest one would be sideline pose. So you may want two props here, a blanket folded in half for like a pillow situation up at the top of your mat, right? So then you'll assist yourself down with your hands. Super important to always be supporting yourself as you move down and come back up. So I like to bring my hand under the pillow here, and the bolster is just gonna come in between my thighs. It's gonna be so lovely, yeah. Just like a little rest on your left side, okay? So I'm obviously demoing to you on my right, but make sure if you're taking sideline pose, you're on your left to make space for Vina Keva. And that's only necessary if you're like second trimester or beyond, right? So if you're first trimester, you might even feel okay taking Shavasana on your back, okay? All right, other options is Queen's pose, which sounds intriguing, I know. This one will need a block on the second setting, and then your bolster to the block. This is going to be our little bed. Some folks might have also heard this be called a prenatal bed. It might feel nice to bring that blanket up at the top there for a little bit of head support. And if you, so this is obviously fine, perfectly enough. If you're extra like me and you want to bring a little bit more, You may unfold your blanket one time and then roll it. Yeah. Nice and tight here. I'm obviously being a little sloppy. Okay. So you can just take, this beautiful prenatal bed posture with your knees bent. Ooh, yeah, that feels good. Okay. If you want to try like a supported Supta Baddha Konasana here, you'll bring the soles of the feet to touch. Take your blanket roll on top of the feet and then tuck the edges underneath the thighs. Ah, yeah, so good. Okay, so this is just giving like the thighs a little bit of support in this hip opener. And we're coming down. Again, always supporting yourself and lying here. So lovely. Those are the beautiful options for Shavasana. Okay, so wherever you are, take time to set it up, because we don't skimp. I mean, we should never skimp on Shavasana, but we especially don't skimp on Shavasana in prenatal, right? So rest is super important. So see if, again, you can soften the body, softening the belly, the inner thighs, the jaw, the shoulders. And final Shavasana. Just breathing normally, letting your body soak up all the goodness. Spending time and caring for yourself and for your baby. And stay resting here. Read to you while you're in Shavasana. You can either listen or feel free to tune me out. This is from John O'Donohue, To Bless the Space Between Us, a book of blessings. This one is called A Blessing for a Mother-to-Be. Nothing could have prepared your heart to open like this. From beyond the skies and the stars, this echo arrived inside you and started to pulse with life. Each beat a tiny act of growth, traversing all our ancient shapes on its way home to itself. Once it began, you were no longer your own. A new, more courageous you, offering itself in a new way to a presence you can sense, but you have not seen or known. It has made you feel alone in a way you never knew before. Everyone else sees only from the outside what you feel and feed with every fiber of your being. Never have you traveled farther inward, where words and thoughts become half-light, unable to reach the fund of brightness, strengthening inside the night of your womb. Like some primeval moon, your soul brightens, the tides of essence that flow to your child. You know your life has changed forever, for in all the days and years to come, distance will never be able to cut you off from the one you now carry for 9 months under your heart. May you be blessed with quiet confidence that destiny will guide you and mind you. May the emerging spirit of your child imbibe encouragement and joy from the continuous music of your heart, so that it can grow with ease, expectant of wonder and welcome when its form is fully filled, and it makes its journey out, to see you and settle at last, relieved and glad in your arms. John O'Donohue. stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Or if you're ready to make your way out, you'll slowly start to deepen the breath. Be making little movements with your fingers and toes. And wherever you are, so if you're in Queen's pose, you're going to gently roll over using the support of your hands to your side, your left side. And if you're in Queen's pose, stay, or if you're in side lying pose, stay there. And we'll all just rest lying on our side for a moment. And if you could see like a white light in your heart, symbolizing your inner knowing, focus on that. And keeping that. Using the strength of your arms, you'll push on up, taking your time. There's no rush. And then meet in a seated position, again, maybe sitting on a prop if you've got one nearby. Soft, open, receptive. And we'll take a breath today to close, acknowledging the community of mamas all over the place, practicing with you, your presence, baby's presence. Exhaling out all the air. Deep breath in, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. Bring your palms to heart center. And we'll bring the palms to third eye as a reminder of right thought. To your lips as a reminder of right speech. To your heart as a reminder of right intention. Open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you very much for practicing today. I hope you enjoyed it. Always feel free to reach out. Any questions, feedback, requests, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I'm thinking about you. So hope you're doing well. Talk soon. Bye-bye.